I've personally sold over $2.5 million in fitness programs, and I am actually a very big introvert, and I struggled with sales. I hated sales. I hated like what sales was. I used to watch a lot of Wolf of Wall Street, a lot of kind of sales motivation, Grant Cardone, like that kind of energy and that kind of content, and that's kind of how I first started approaching sales when I first got into coaching and sales. And I sucked. I just got too hyped up, um, and I lost a lot of sales, and I was more stressed and more struggling when I was first getting into it. When I was first building my fitness business, like nearly a decade ago now. So I'm going to take this video, to this opportunity, just to kind of run you through what I the biggest myths I see in sales when it comes to sales, but more specifically when it comes to selling coaching and when it comes to selling coaching online. And the reason I talk about this is just because I've made a lot of mistakes myself over the years, and as an introvert, as someone that is not a sales guy, is not massively inclined, you can tell that's kind of how my energy is more subtle. It's not, over the top. It's not, I haven't got any kind of crazy tactics or anything like that. I'm just going to run you through the biggest myths that people make, or the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to selling, and how you can fix it so you can close more coaching clients, you can make more money with your coaching business. One of the first biggest mistakes I see and biggest myths I see people make, and I made this and I alluded to this a little bit already in the video, is I used to get way too hyped up before taking a sales call. I would like have my headphones on and I would just think in the back of my head, like, this call that I'm about to take, I need to close this call like right now, or I need to close this call in the next 30 minutes. It's really, really important I close it, and it's like crucial I close it, right? And the biggest problem you can do when you're doing that, when you're going to sales calls with that mindset of like, I need to close this person, it's crucial I do, is what happens is you just put too much pressure on yourself. And when you have this pressure in your chest, in your body, like the prospect on the other side of it can feel the pressure, can feel like your commission breath. They can feel you really wanting to close that, but they wanting to close them and just being there for the money. And when you're there speaking to someone, when you're there trying to take their money, people feel that and they don't like that. So one of the easiest things you can do is just, and it's harder to do, but one of the simplest things you can do is find a way to put less pressure on your calls and like less pressure needing to close everyone, right? Funnily for me, over the years, the times I've made the most amount of money and when I've closed the most amount of money, I've closed the most amount of people, was when I was naturally on a high and on a trajectory. I was very busy. I'd have like a referral come through or something like that, and I was just like, if I take on that client, it's good, but it's not like my life isn't going to drastically change, so it's hard to do that at the start when you need sales, when you need money, but if you just kind of prioritize booking enough sales calls, you're booking 3, 5, 6 sales calls per week, then it's just a numbers game at that point. You just need to close 1, 2 people and you've already got money coming in, especially when it's a higher ticket offer and everything's flying from there, right? So the first biggest thing. The second thing, in terms of myths that I see people make when it comes to sales and selling coaching online, is trying to sell something low ticket or trying to sell something for $97, or even like fitness coaching programs for like $197 a month. Like, it works, and like by no means like £200 a month, $200 per month coaching program isn't cheap. But if you can package up the exact same coaching offer and you go from charging £200 per month to charging like £200 for 6 months, and just charging that up front or trying to offer that, it's going to make it such a big change in terms of your cash flow coming in, because all of a sudden, rather than needing to close 6 people per month to get to a good position like financially, all you need to do is close 1 person. You've already made like £1,200 for that 6-month program if they just pay in full. So it's just a massive numbers game. So changing your price and just having that offer in there where it's either a 6-month program or 12-month program or something like that there, and you offer that first. And if people can't afford it or it's too much of a stretch, then you can easily go into like a lower ticket offer option, or just break that down into monthly payments or 3-month options or something like that. Just makes such a big difference. I would say that's the second thing, is like low ticket offers work if you have a massive audience, but if you haven't, like having an offer that's at least £1,000 or dollars is just such a big game changer. It just makes life so much easier. So I'd say that as a second product, as a second thing, as a second byproduct, would actually make a big difference to your kind of close rate and kind of your ability to close sales. And then the third and kind of last thing as well is like, and this is something that I've only recently kind of like in the last 2 years, I would actually say I've kind of gotten better with doing. But you don't need to close everyone, you know, you don't need to attract everyone, you don't need to book every single person on Instagram into a sales call. And just having that kind of confidence and having that content there, in terms of knowing, okay, you know, if I speak to this person but he's giving me a bit of a weird vibe, like he seems like a bit of a nightmare to work with, or he has unrealistic goals, or whatever it might be, like you have this permission to not book that person into a sales call, and kind of end the conversation early if needed, or book a sales call, or book a 10-minute call, 15-minute call, and just really treat that call as you being the expert, you being the doctor, you being a coach, you being a guy at a higher status and higher authority, and you being there to genuinely change someone's life. Like if you look at it like that, it will just make such a big difference to your ability to close calls as well. So like booking 3 calls a week, 4 calls a week, 5 calls a week, whatever it might be, but just booking people that actually want to speak to you and people that actually see the value in your coaching, and you have a little bit of a conversation with them beforehand. It's just such a game changer, because then you don't need to sit on calls for 30 minutes, 40 minutes with people that are not the right fit. Would make things a lot easier. And then just to summarize, like we have such a big opportunity with sales right now, more than ever, where you can have AI be in your sales calls, be on your sales conversations, and it can come up with content ideas for you. It can take notes, it can transcribe all your calls. So if you're not using it, you're just massively getting left behind. Like what I've been doing, what we teach with our clients to do, is build systems in place where you have like an AI system to take notes of your calls, transcribe the calls, and then you can use those calls for content ideas. You can get really good content ideas based on pain points, on goals, on frustrations of your audience, and then you can use those to just make really specific content with people you want to work with. Because as a business owner, if you have 100 different things going on at any given time, it's easy to just forget about content, forget about what people want, struggles, goals, pain points, or just create content you kind of want to do yourself anyway, you know. So one of the very good things you can do is just make sure you are using AI to get notes of your content, and just get the transcripts of your content, and you can pull that into like ChatGPT or Claude AI or anything like that, and then it can give you really good content ideas based on the actual words, goals, pain points of what actually people have told you. It'll make a hell of a difference with growing your business. And just treat your business more like just treat your kind of sales on the front end as well. When you're having conversations, when you're making content, make sure you are actually kind of covering these things, covering the objections people have, talking about the goals, about the pain points. Make sure this is also being touched on a lot in your main content on your page, because the more you touch on your content on the main page, the less objections people are going to have when they jump with you on sales calls, when you're messaging them. And it'll drive things forward. So I've given you like 4 or 5 big myths and mistakes people make with sales that I used to make, that I learned the hard way with 10 years of growing a business to multi 6 figures. So yeah, hope you find this helpful. I'm in the sun here and I'm getting wrecked. So yeah, hope you find this content useful. There'll be a link down below if you want to speak to myself one-to-one, really audit where your business is at, see what you need help with, and if I can help you, I can run you through some ideas and suggestions, and I'll see you tomorrow.